Casey with Nectar Flow Yoga, coming at you with a flow that's focused exclusively on shoulders. So we'll get right to it. If you have a yoga strap, I encourage you to grab that. They're easy to find and relatively inexpensive online. If you don't have one, a dog leash can actually do in a pinch. So do go ahead and grab that because we will need it for this practice. So come to lie on your back. We'll start with just working into shoulder strength and mobility and begin to juice the shoulder joint as well. So I want you to start and integrate into your mat with just a few deep breaths. Let your hips rest heavy, the toes roll out. Maybe lift your chest, scoot your shoulders together behind your back. Relax your jaw. And find some ease here before we begin to work and fine-tune in the shoulder girdle. Starting with some shrugs here on the mat. We'll keep the arms parallel to the earth. Let the palms face down to begin, and then draw the fingertips toward your face. Press the heel of the hand away. So this is important to access into the forearm and the back of the shoulder. I want you to push toward your feet on an exhale, and then inhale, draw your shoulders as far up toward your ears or shrug them as you can get them. Exhale, push. Inhale, shrug. Back and forth about 10 times, pushing and shrugging. And I already feel these, so you'll feel them in the lats, sort of the outer lower shoulder blade, and then you'll feel them up in the part of our shoulders that actually we tend to overwork as we shrug our shoulders up towards our ears when we sit down, when we drive, when we're stressed. We do want to awaken those muscles so we're aware when they're tense. Just one or two more. Belly draws to spine. And then release. Let the arms rest heavy. Feel how nice that feels to soften the arms down. So now we'll find a different expression of this in our shoulders, pushing up toward the ceiling. So reach first through the fingertips. Feel how it is if you're trying to extend your fingertips toward the ceiling, the shoulders reach up. And then we'll plug or shrug the shoulders back down, pressing the full shoulder blade onto the mat. Now here I want you to do the same thing, but again, draw the fingertips toward your face, the heel of the hand toward the ceiling, and about 10 of pushing away, shrugging, and then actively drawing back. I'd rather you do less of these more slowly and with more quality than have you get more reps if you're starting to get tired. So really feel here into that extension. Use your breath. Exhale, press away, draw the belly in. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up. Last two, press away. I don't even know how many I've done, approximately, right? And then we'll release the arms up high and wide overhead. I want them wide enough to where the arm bones can rest on the earth. Now here, you can keep the backs of the hands on the earth, not necessary to flex. This is a lot more challenging, but if you can't access this, go ahead and try it. So it takes a little more opening in the shoulder girdle. I want you to push, shrug the shoulders to the ears, and then draw them down the back. About 10. Push, exhale, belly up and in. Inhale, shrug the shoulders down the back. Push, and draw back. And if it's too much to keep the hands flexed, you can reach the fingertips, draw back, but try both on. About 3 or 4 more. Push, draw back, push, and draw back. Now from here, just roll into the wrists, one direction and then the other. We'll take some circles, both arms up overhead, high and wide, as we draw circles. Now, a lot of popping and cracking in the shoulders, not uncommon, but I want us to try sort of lubricate the shoulder joint, and if you need to here, you can bend or cactus the arms if that relieves any uncomfortable cracking. About 2 more, 5 of these one direction. Last one. And then switch, arms out high and wide, up overhead, and then we reach down and around. Belly is up and in. The inhale takes the arms out. The exhale draws them up. Last one. And release, pause and rest. Already feeling some warmth here in the shoulders for sure. Plant your right foot, roll onto your right side. We'll get a little more range of motion here in a twist. So I'm taking my right arm around and back, and notice when you extend and rotate through the palm up as it goes out to the right side, and then the palm down as it comes across in front of you, up with the palm up, and then around with the palm down. Last one. And switch. You'll lead with the thumb, palm down, hand in front of you, palm up, hand behind you. Again, bend the elbow as the arm goes out to the side if there's excessive popping or discomfort. We don't want to go too far in any of these exercises. It gives me a chance to speak to the fact that the shoulder joint is one of the most unstable joints in our body. Unlike the hip, which is a deeper ball and socket, the shoulder is a very shallow ball and socket. Allows for the dynamic range of motion that we get, but it also enables us to have more likelihood for injury. So about 5 of these, one direction. Palm faces down again as the hand comes in front of you. Palm faces up as the hand goes behind your back. Last one. Switch directions. Reach up overhead, palm goes back. And here I'm feeling some popping in my left side, so I'm actually going to bend the elbow, and that relieves that popping. And you'll feel the shoulder joint can get kind of sticky, right? So we'll bring in some fluid into the joint, warming up as we begin to move. I want you to press yourself up to seated. Now, I'm going to turn to the side for this first round. We're going to revisit those scap push-ups that we did. I'm going to turn this way. So, in seated, spine is long, crown of the head right over the tailbone, hips release, knees drop down. I want you to press the wall in front of you away, push or cat the spine, and then shrug the shoulders back for 5, 4, 3. These are challenging if you're doing them right. 2, 1. Good, and then reach up. Flex the fingers back. A little easier here when we're not on our backs. Push, the shoulders come up to the ears. Draw down and back. Push for 3, 2, 1. Release. Taking the strap or dog leash if you have either one. No need to have to create a loop here with the strap. We're going to take our strap about, probably about mat's width, maybe even a little bit wider. So the wider your hands go, the more space you'll have to do this stretch. The more narrow, the less space. So you can adjust as we go. We're going to have our strap here, and I'm turned to the side purposefully so that you can see how I'm not going to splay my ribs out to get my arms way back. I want to keep the integrity of the shape in my spine as I draw the arms back. An active stretch, I'm pulling on the strap, pulling it away from me. I'm exhaling, bringing it back down, but not resting. Inhale, open, draw the belly to the spine, avoid lifting and splaying out with the ribs. Exhale, release. About 10 of these. So really feel the lats reaching, release. Inhale, open. Exhale, release. Seeing if you can get a little further as we warm up. And a couple more. And then last one, I want you to hold, really pull the strap away, grow tall through the crown of your head. That was going to come out differently. Now, side bend over to the right, side bend over to the left. So from the front, it looks like this. Just dipping out, keeping the arms straight. I'm not bending. Back and forth. One more round to the right, to the left. And then release. Take a gentle stretch. You'll bring your right arm across your chest. Maybe even gaze to the left as you draw your right shoulder down. Bend that right elbow, pull and open through the right fingertips. Release the right hand down, and then maybe take your strap here. I'll actually do this from behind. So we'll take the left arm up and over, grab the strap, and then pull. Now this is a stretch for the right shoulder, but also for the left outer shoulder. And then we're finding this what's called Gomukhasana arms. And walk your hands up the strap and vice versa. Then release the strap, and then even if you have a bind, I want you to release that, and I want you to find your active flexibility. Then switch, active flexibility the other direction. Switch. Back and forth, sort of infinity arms. Doesn't matter how far you go. You might be right here. That's your range of motion. That's totally cool. And then we'll land with the strap in our right hand and get this cow face or Gomukhasana arms on the other side before we take our left arm across our chest. And then release. Face you again. Bring your left arm across your chest. I have to play with not hitting the mic here. So draw your shoulder down. Maybe take your gaze over that left shoulder. Soften your hips. And then open that left hand out. Really reach. Feel the stretch in the bicep. Release. One more action with our strap seated before we move on. Take your strap, and I'm going to actually place it under my right arm to start, and I want you to lock down the strap with the right arm. So you're going to use, ideally there's somebody else doing this, use your left hand to pull, try to pull the strap out, and lock down with the right arm against the side of your body. That helps you access into your lats. So if I've been saying your lats, your lats, your lats, you might not know what muscle group I'm talking about. This is it. So as you lock down with the right arm, you're feeling your right lat fire up. Simply switch sides. Take the strap underneath your left arm, try to pull it out, and you can tell my left lat's not as strong as my right because I can actually win with the right hand. So I'm locking down that left lat. I'll show you from the back. I don't know if this top lets you see as much, but we'll give it a go. So here I'm locking down and I'm pulling that strap out. You'll see that muscle potentially fire up. So try that on. Release, set the strap to the side. We may need it again. We'll come to tabletop. So here in tabletop, just a couple rounds of cat-cow, just because it's my favorite and I can't ever skip it. Lovely expression of breath to movement and the shapes that we can make in our spine. Also informative for the next round of movements we're taking. Lift your chin, lift your tailbone. I'm a little tongue-tied. Last round, inhale. Exhale, find neutral. Draw your belly to your spine. Scap push-ups here in tabletop. So same work we've been doing. I want you this time now, we're weight bearing as we do so. So it's really important you pay attention to stacking your bones. So shoulders over elbows over wrists, spreading your fingers wide and bringing some weight into your finger pads, not just collapsing into the heels of your hands. Now, this is not a bend of the elbows here. Just like what we did on our back and then seated, all we're gonna do is drop our chest through our hands to really squeeze those lats we found, and then exhale, press the ground away. I'm not tucking my tail like cat pose. I'm keeping my pelvis neutral. I'm rounding my upper back. So just squeeze together and then push and round. Scapular push-ups here in tabletop. Really great work for shoulder activation, mobility, strengthening, stabilizing. And if you're doing a lot of practicing on your own or through videos lately, you can actually work these in to your high plank or modified plank sequences, even when they're not cued by the teacher. Fantastic work in the shoulders. Couple more rounds. Starting to feel some exhaustion. And again, I'd like for you to do less of these with more quality versus more with less quality. Last round. And release to a child's pose, forehead down, but I want to be in active child's pose. Forehead is down, arm bones are lifted, and then you're going to press your finger pads into the mat to push your hips back and wrap your shoulder blades down toward the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, downward facing dog. So here in down dog, same. We're going to play with straight arms, push the ground away, taking the shoulders up to the ears, then drawing the lats down, the shoulders toward the hips. Push and then draw back. About 10 of these. Belly up and in. That's 3, 4, and 5 with your breath. I'm definitely starting to feel this in my shoulders. Last one. Inhale, look forward, come up on your toes. Walk your feet up to your hands. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine, belly up and in. Exhale to fold. Now here, you can grab your elbows, let your head drape between your hands, your arms, bringing length into the back of your neck, letting your shoulders really rest heavy. We'll bend our knees, root down, rise up to stand, belly up and in. Reach through your pinkies as this accesses into the lats, into the triceps, and then reach your thumbs back. We'll inhale. Find that expression of reaching. Exhale, cactus your arms, lift your chest, lift your chin. Squeeze your shoulders together behind your back. So from the back, it looks like this. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw back. Just 2 more. Feel this access. Reach. Draw back. Last one, reach. Draw your shoulders down your back and then release. Inhale your arms up overhead. Palms face the ceiling, heels of the hands toward the ceiling, fingertips toward the floor, belly up and in, so avoid this action. I want you to really draw in, stay neutral in the pelvis. We're going to shrug the shoulders up and back down. Up and back down. Again, back to about 10, but if you need to do fewer, I prefer that over compromising the integrity. Spine, stance, the shape in your shoulders. The arms need to be wide, that's totally fine. Last round, release. All right, a little more working into the warmth in our shoulders. We'll build a little more awareness as well. I want you to take the palms to face down and do some quicker circles. So this is a more dynamic motion. We're coming into some fast twitch here. The circles can be nice and small. We're moving quickly. Belly up and in, root down through your feet. Doing this for about 30 seconds or so. Keep breathing and switch. So I lied, 30 seconds one direction, 30 seconds the other direction. And that's approximate. Feeling some of the exhaustion happening, keep reaching long through the fingertips. Slow them down if you need to, speed them up if you can. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Some big loose shoulder shrugs here. And then we'll take it to creating a spiral lock in our shoulders. So this spiral lock is something I learned from one of my teachers, Leslie Kaminoff, master of breath and anatomy in yoga. And what he teaches is that when we create this spiral lock in the shoulder and length of the whole arm, we're protecting our shoulder girdle as we move through bent arm variations like chaturanga, arm balances, etc. So we're essentially creating a spring, if you will, within the arms. Now, it's hard to access without doing this set of exercises unless you've been practicing for a long time. So this is kind of a shortcut to figuring out that shape in your body. So I want you to take the fingertips long, and I teach this in a lot of my different flows. Palms face down. Now notice, if you can look in the mirror or look in a camera, your tendency may be to bring your arms a little too high or a little too low. I want you to really find this shape where the arms are reaching long and straight out to the sides. Now, I already feel by reaching and squeezing my thumb in, access into my biceps, and my triceps by squeezing my pinky in. A little bit of a stretch there too. Now I'm going to turn the palm to face up. And then I notice the eye of the elbow, or the inner part of the elbow, turns up too. Now before, it was not turned up. The eye of the elbow was facing you at the camera. So I'm turning up to get that eye of the elbow up. Now keep the eye of the elbow up, turn the palm down. We've started to create this lock. Now flex the heels of the hands away from you. And the fingertips toward you. And then you're gonna bring your hands toward the front of you. So like so. Plug the shoulders in like we've been working on, down with the lats, bend your elbows back to your sides, and here's your chaturanga. Push the ground away, or the wall away, and back to your sides. And you can even do these against the wall. So coming here with your hands against the wall, and pushing the wall away. You've got your spiral lock, because you'll notice the eye of the elbow is pointing up toward the ceiling. Couple more. And we'll end, I'll show you that in chaturanga. But for now, find an open space on the wall, and we'll do 2 more exercises here against the wall. Take your heels directly underneath your hips. You'll feel your calves, potentially your bum against the wall. I want you to draw your shoulder blades flat against the wall and press your head against the wall. Now from here, take your arms up high and wide so that the full arm bone can rest on the wall. You may feel like you're having to really splay your ribs out. That's where you draw the belly in to find that access to the core. Now, here we are back against the wall, arms against the wall. Exhale, just find these little angles in the elbows. Don't draw all the way down. The arms have to stay against the wall the whole time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull back. These get pretty challenging when we get to about the 5th one. We're going to try to go for 10. I think that's 5. Hopefully you guys are counting. I'm really feeling my lats, my shoulders here. I hope you are too. Just a few more. We're all approximate here. And back down, back up. Last one. Arms low and wide. Press the backs of the hands into the wall. Really feel that pressure of the backs of your hands against the wall. Squeeze your shoulders down your back. Try not to squeeze them up to your ears. One more inhale. Exhale, soften and release. Now we'll turn to face the wall. And I call these TikToks. So we'll start with the right arm out at 3 o'clock. Take your left hand to plant, left elbow to lift, and you might be right here feeling a stretch. Maybe you need a little more stretch, but this is a passive stretch, so please don't overdo it. We're going to press the right hand into the wall. That makes the stretch a little more active. And then just feel and breathe into the stretch in that inner right arm. Release back to the wall. Take your right hand to about 5 o'clock. Right hand is down, left hand stays planted, and we twist. This one's a little less intense, but it also accesses a different part of the shoulder. Several breaths, only turning as far as you need to get the stretch, get some feedback, and releasing. We'll come back to the center here. Take the left hand down to about 5 o'clock and turn. You can plant your right hand. Use that to help you. So we're getting length here in the shoulders, in the arms, I should say, to help release the shoulders. Take the Chest back to the center. Take your left hand out to about 9 o'clock and then press your right hand into the wall. Find that stretch. Keep the integrity in your spine. Keep rooting down evenly through both feet. Come back to center. Now, this one's a little more challenging. You can bring it lower if you need to. Otherwise, left hand goes to about 11 o'clock. So this is the most intense of these stretches. Don't twist as far if you don't need to. Really accessing into the pectoral muscles. Tight pecs can absolutely impact comfort in the shoulder. And they're pretty hard to stretch, so this is a great way to do it. Again, don't overdo it. Back to center. Right hand now to about 1 o'clock, left hand back. So we finish off with the right one in the most intense variation. And then come back to center. Release. You can kind of roll into the wrists here. I'll come in to our peak sort of variation of what we're going to do with our shoulders today. So I want you to go ahead and find your spiral lock. Palms face down. Reach the fingertips long. Turn the palms up. Eye of the elbow, you'll notice, faces up. Lock the shoulders down. Turn the palms down. Bring the arms forward. Flex the hands toward your face. Now you're going to keep this as you lower down. Bend the elbows back by your sides and plant the hands into high plank with your spiral lock. So we're going to hold our high plank, option to modify. Whether you're modified or in high plank, scat push-ups, about 10. I'd rather you drop the knees than sag the hips. So please take the modification that you need to do these with integrity. About 10, and then from here we'll try to lower, keeping our spiral lock, into chaturanga. Drop the knees if you need to. Up dog, squeeze the shoulders together, or cobra, and press back, child's pose. Drag your left hip back. Walk your fingertips to center. Rise up. Swing your legs around. Lie on your back and come to your final rest. Or move yourself on to another one of my short videos for a full hour-long practice. I'll leave you here. I hope your shoulders feel fantastic. Please leave me any feedback and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Namaste.